Now, I don't know if you guys saw this over the Christmas period, but Fox News put out an article, and I'll put the link in the description below this video if you want to check it out, all about Porsche. They've been testing, and quite successfully testing, their new E-Fuel, just simply made from water and air. They've got this lab down in Chile. They've been running it very successfully, like I say, and even Formula One are talking about maybe trialing this in their cars as a very clean alternative new type of fuel. So if this sort of thing takes off, it's harder times for that EV sector. Now the EV sector as well, we're going to have a supply side problem from lithium, a bit like we've seen with the semiconductor sector. So that in itself is going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of those smaller, less nimble EV stocks out there. Then we've got the environmental side as well, and there's a bit of more of a squeeze, a bit more of a pushback on the EV world at the moment. So there are a combination of factors at play that are leading to not a great setup for the sector, the EV sector at the moment, and there's some stocks out there that probably aren't worth your time and investment, and I'm going to have a look at a handful of those now, 9 in fact, for you to assess and maybe avoid this coming year unless something dramatic happens. Then, like I said, have these on your radar, and these 9 are coming up now. Now firstly, what's the methodology behind me finding these 9 stocks? Well, first of all, I've dug into the fundamentals, short interest, short ratios, return on equity, performance, earnings per share, all those type of variables, and you yourself can create a shortlist quite simply and quite for free as well. FinViz up on the screen now is a typical example of that. Just run a few filters and you can find these type of stocks, and on top of that I've added in those other variable factors, the lithium issue, Porsche, technology, those other variables that are causing the EV sector to struggle a bit more in 2023. And with that I came up with 9 stocks, and I'm going to now quickly cover off them. The graphs, the technical analysis isn't pretty, I should warn you now, but these are 9 that I think probably worth avoiding in that sector. I'm not an EV sector hater, I do like the concept and there are some good stocks out there, but these 9 I think are worth steering a wide berth of. Now first up we've got Workhorse Group, ticker WKHS. Now these guys, US company, design, manufacture all electric delivery trucks and drone systems and the sort of operating tech behind that. Now it must be said, most of these 9, the problem is the competition, it's got a lot bigger. The big guys have come to play, the Volkswagen groups, the GMs, the Fords. They're squeezing these little new startups and making their life a lot harder. And as you can see from Workhorse, well, it's been a pretty horrible last year, 2 years, down 97%, and you've got a lot of volume now, all at these low prices. So that is Workhorse. Now next up is Arcimoto, another US company. Now they go by the ticker FUV, and why is that? Well, their flagship product is the Fun Utility Vehicle. They design, develop, manufacture and sell of electric vehicles, and it's the same story really as all the others. Same time period of degradation there in the stock price, volatility very high at the moment, and volume picking up, and really didn't shift that price any. Order volume down here, and it's a similar percentage loss there for Arcimoto. Then we have the Lordstown Motor Corp, focusing on developing light duty work vehicles. A lot of competition in this area building up at the moment, and again a very similar looking chart. Big fall in that price, volume all down here at the moment, and not looking great. Then we have Fisker, ticker FSR, another one from the US, and I really like Fisker. They produce some pretty attractive, sporty, models, some SUVs as well in there. But again, it's about scaling up momentum, delivery, the inputs to the business, supply chain, all sorts of issues. Maybe, looking at the price here, it hasn't been as quite a dramatic fall as some of the others, and been a bit more of a bumpy journey, but still it hasn't been pretty. Maybe some possible upside, where you can see a lot of the noise volume there, so maybe some possibilities, but quite frankly it's still not a great looking picture. Then we've got Nikola Corporation, ticker NKLA. Same story, same picture. Big fall, 98% nearly, and there's nothing really unique about these guys now as the competition builds up. I suppose the only diversification to their setup, they do a lot of hydrogen work as well, apart from the EV stuff, so maybe something in there, but it's a troubling time for them at the moment. Then we have Canadian based Electramechanica Vehicles, ticker Solo, and the reason for that, flagship vehicle is called Solo. It's a single seat EV, not the most attractive, I've got to say, of single seats, and again another one that has been struggling. Just a quick look at the chart will tell you that, and like we've discussed many times, a lot of competition out there in this sector, obviously not helping. Then we have Blink Charging, so something a bit different. Now this is a company that provides EV charging equipment and network charging services across the US and in some international markets. Now it's a slightly different angle, for those weaker EV stocks, but this one is heavily shorted. You check that short interest list out. Not very well liked at the moment. High short ratio as well, not looking particularly good. And again, that big competition when companies like Shell and that are producing their own sort of similar products, then it's going to be hard times. Now these last two might draw a bit of hate towards me, but really I can't see them succeeding. The best these guys can do, I think, might merge, take over by someone else that allows them to expand. They've got supply chain type issues, deals falling through, that sort of thing, these last two, and with the competition again, it's so difficult out there. Now I've got to say, Rivian and Lucid both produce really nice looking, clever EV cars, but that doesn't matter when you can't deliver, or they have problems around that side of the business. And scaling up, like I say, when the competition gets bigger, you've got your Volkswagens, your Audis, your Porsches, Toyotas, Fords, GM, some of the biggest companies in the world competing against you and also producing very good looking vehicles, then it's going to get tougher and tougher. So the first one here, Rivian, ticker RIVN, and the second one of those two, Lucid Group, ticker LCID. And same story with the charts. It's been a one-way street downwards, a little bit of a pickup the last few weeks, but really, like we've discussed, it's going to be very, very tricky for them. I think there's better EV stocks out there to play. So that is my 9, and just throwing this one in, let's have a quick look at Porsche and see what they're doing stock wise. So if you think their new E-Fuel can take off and transform the motor vehicle market and keep those engines as we're used to sitting in cars, and you think it's got some upside, then Porsche, ticker POAHF, and that's the ticker for the US stock. You can trade this one all around the world. You know, chart wise, again, not particularly great. Last year or so, down nearly 60%. Going to want it to get to this volume spike here, 95, and maybe on up to here. But you know, it's tricky times in the current world of automobiles and automobile manufacturing, and you've got to be really nimble, clever, and it's a cutthroat market. So even well-established names like Porsche might struggle, and that's why they need these new technologies. So it's not a great stock either itself. So we've gone through the 9 I'd avoid, and also not looking that great a play. Now, caveat to all that is that you'll see that a lot of those 9 have very big short interest, and that means they are susceptible to the squeeze. We saw quite a lot of that around the Wall Street bets, the GameStop, that type of stock play. So that could, if they get their hands on it, or similar types of groups, spike that price on upwards, and that's got nothing to do with the quality of the stock. That is a pure price speculation play, so be very careful around that. So that's 9 stocks for you to obviously keep on your radar, and let me know in those comments below what you think of those 9. But also, do you want me to have a look at the EV stocks that I think could be quite good for 2023? Let me know, and I might be able to put a video together producing a short list of ones I think are worth actually investing in for 2023. Now, if you've liked this video and you want to learn more about what I do, and you want to learn more about trading, I've got a great playlist that you could work your way through from top to bottom that's going to take your trading to the next level, and that is coming up now.